Oh, well, it's just $446,000.
No big deal. No problem. All right, you guys. We're going to call this video you're about to see the law of unanticipated consequences. Bob Martin, our
Look at that.
pilot, and Dominic Crespin got this. He's the photog. That is a massive bull elk. What they did was caught this shot between Algodones and as you head north toward Ronchetti. Usually you don't see massive bull elk walking.
He's getting the heck out of there.
Yeah, exactly right, Diane. You don't think about it. We talked to a lot of people in Los Alamos over the last, that is a beautiful elk, by the way. We talked to a lot of people in Los Alamos over the past few days who said we're seeing more animals here than we ever see. Bears, all sorts of deer, porcupines, you name it, because the burn area is pushing these animals out of where they usually live, and so they start coming down into where we are. Beautiful stuff. Very cool. Thanks very much, Dominic.
Good idea.
And Bob. Yeah, I know. He's like, oh, give me a little water here. I don't want to mess around with that. All right, let's start talking about a couple areas that we do still have some concern with, not necessarily right in the fire zones, but statewide here, and it's something we see quite a bit, and that is our mountains being a real trigger point for thunderstorms. When you start pushing air over the mountains, it tends to rise, and rising air really helps to form thunderstorms. In addition to that, the mountains themselves heat the air more efficiently. That leads to rising air in thunderstorms as well. So oftentimes, you'll see the thunderstorms lined up right along our mountains. Well, in many cases, we'll get a little bit of rain out of these storms, but we also get a tremendous amount of lightning. And so we do have to worry here, I think, over the next about 2 to 3 weeks at getting a lot of lightning strikes in the mountains. And, of course, our mountains have the most dense fuel of anywhere in the state. We're seeing that with the Las Conchas fire. So real concerns here over the next few weeks before we get into the monsoon flow pattern and we get those really wet storms in here. That'll just knock out any sort of lightning strike we get. But right now, we're not at that point. We're getting a lot of storms that are dry enough to start these fires, but not wet enough to put them out. Definitely something we need to keep an eye on. And one thing you'll want to watch, too, is what we call a sleeper fire. And that's when you get a lightning strike and it starts a little fire. And it burns quietly for a few days, maybe even a week. And then the winds kick up and take that fire and it takes off. So a lot of times we get a day like today where we had a lot of lightning strikes out there. We had some rain, and you think, well, I don't hear any new reports of a fire over the next couple of days. We've gotten away okay. Not necessarily. A lot of times these things can sit quietly and then take off. So again, the next 2 to 3 weeks is going to be a big deal for this. Once we get enough moisture in place, this sort of thing will start to calm down. 82 degrees in the metro right now, relative humidity at 22%, winds east-northeast at 10 miles an hour. Across the north, 60s and 70s. We've got a front just sort of falling apart as it's sliding through the state right now, and the showers we were seeing are starting to die off, but some cooler air filtering in here, some higher relative humidities, pretty good news. And the winds, not a real big deal, although Raton and Clayton still a little gusty, as is Tucumcari and Alamogordo. And there's that front right there, and it's just running out of juice here over the eastern side of the state. The core of the storm right here went to our north. That helped create the wind today, but as it continues to exit coming up tonight and throughout the day tomorrow, it will take with it the really gusty winds. So tomorrow, we'll look for a little bit of dry lightning, still a concern, but the bigger issue is going to be the fact that we are going to see a little more moisture slide up in here over the weekend to give us another shot at a storm or two, western half of the state and over the mountains. So that's why we'll keep an eye on that. But for the most part, next couple of days, we're not going to have really bad fire weather. Good news for firefighters in all the fire zones. 91 in Farmington, 88 in Cortez, 85 in Durango, mostly sunny skies across the four corners, especially around Farmington. And then as we work into Saturday and Sunday, some spot storms will be possible, especially over mountain sections. South and west, same deal here. Partly sunny, some isolated storms tomorrow. We'll be keeping a very close eye on the Gila tomorrow, and that will really continue all the way through the holiday weekend with temperatures in the 80s. Over into the southeast, best chance at grabbing a shower here will once again be around Cloudcroft and Ruidoso, where we saw some showers today. Again, the mountains aiding in that. As you get over into the east, drier, lots of sunshine, but wind shouldn't be a huge factor, so firefighters will get some help there as well. North and east, temperatures here for the most part 80s and 90s, partly cloudy, breezy, winds out of the south 15 to 25, gusting to 35. Extended forecast in the Las Vegas area. Probably won't see a whole lot of activity around tomorrow, but we could see some more over the holiday weekend as well. Over the northern mountains, an isolated mountain storm will be possible for tomorrow, but we won't see the kind of volume of storms that we saw today. Extended forecast for Santa Fe. Spot showers will remain possible all the way through the weekend and into next week. Over into the East Mountains, temps in the low 90s. southwest winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. And finally, right here in the metro, partly cloudy. Sandias could touch off a storm or two, but it's not going to be anything that should be a real big deal. Extended forecast here. Got a shot at a shower Sunday into Monday.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Root for it.
All right.
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
Well, the side of green apples at Dixon's Apple Orchard has been replaced with blackened trees.